Hello. Alright, a little bit of testing, a little bit of looking at some of my favorite doors. Just gotta go through the same old checks that I always do, which is to check to see if my restream chat's working. If you guys haven't heard of that, it's very helpful if you don't want to buy another, or say a second monitor. Yeah. Alright, just sometimes it's very weird. Restream chat will sometimes go back to its default look and take up half your screen, which is kind of weird. What's up there, Lonnie? Wow, you was like right there. Let me check the chat. Let's see. I'll put what's up. Oh yeah, that worked. That had a lot of good response to it today. Must not be getting any lag. All right, let me go ahead and maximize this. There we go. Okay, turn that off. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, looking at some of my favorite doors. Now I had to patch some of these doors, just to let you guys know. I had to patch some of them, but I got everything from my doors to Mumbo Jumbo's to CMB Minecraft's latest to probably the smallest 4x4 I've ever seen, as far as a good looking one. Yeah, you responded quick. And then this one I made a long time ago, and I was like pretty sure it was gonna explode when I did it. But here, check it out. Look. Oh, what the heck? The block did not. Oh, I missed some redstone. There we go. So it has some really bad animation, but at the time it was actually pretty small. Yeah, this is actually 3 different designs put into one. I took 3 retired YouTubers and did that. Almost closed. Yeah, it closed. It just was missing a piece of redstone. But it has some clean animation on the opening. The closing, I could say that it could use some. It can use some help. I'm actually curious. Let's see. So, if the bottom is set at 4. Yeah, let's see this again. I really don't think there's anything I could do about the top animation. It just seems to me that the top animation, because it's coming up this tower, it's gonna be 1, 2, 3, 3 ticks plus the delay on this. So I mean, technically, I could slow this down. Actually, I could speed it up. I should be able to speed this up. Let's see. Ooh, that's not good. That's why it has to have 3 ticks, because of the monostable. So I tried this on the Pocket Edition, and it does not work. Okay, let's try it again. Yeah, that works. A little bit faster. Let's see. Yeah, the top could be a little faster, but it works. I mean, if you compare it to this one, which is Sydney's door, this thing is absolutely clean, and it's super tiny. Look at how clean that is. So that's probably my favorite 4x4 right now, but I am going to go ahead and just tell you that it requires a lot of stuff. Now, to go into some cool stuff, these are the smallest doors I could find that are currently modern. Now, I had to fix this door, which I'm going to tell you I spent a couple hours fixing it, but I'm going to go ahead and say that look at the animation on this. What do you think of that? I have not seen a sorting was it a sorting storage build from you yet. I actually have one. I have a furnace system, and I have a storage system. I'll show you. I also have a potion lab, but yeah, here, check this out. This is pretty crazy. Watch. Look at that. Isn't this thing crazy looking? Yeah, look at that. And then there's this one. Check this out. It's like a spiraling door. But it is the smallest. I don't think you can get it any smaller than that. And I really, the thing that I like the most is that you can technically send signals through. So it detects the movement, you know. It detects the movement. So if it's only 2 pistons, you can actually get, because 2 pistons will extend, you can actually get a signal off of it. So it makes it so you can use pistons and get a detection from them. So it's something that, I mean, I want to keep in mind. Now this is another one that was a real nice competitor with that one. But I'll say that the input is kind of hokey. Let me hit it. It's kind of like, I hate to say it, but it looks like a swastika. It looks like a demonetized, but it still works. The animation on those doors is cool. Yeah, I like that one the most. These 2 doors, I think, for the size. If you're on a survival world, it might require a lot of stuff, but you could put that in a house. You know, as long as you made the wall 3 wide, you could fit it in there. I actually was looking at it the other day, and I was like, you know, as long as you're getting power, as long as you're getting power to, you know, as long as you're getting power to it here, you could stick a tower of slime blocks to activate it. So you could keep everything within a 3 wide, you know, thing. So I guess to show you. Now I will say there is a couple of things you have to be careful with this, is that there are places that if you touch, you know, you're screwed. Like it's gonna screw you, but it's got crazy animation, I know, but it is just so tiny in comparison. I was able to memorize this my first time. I don't know why. The directions in which these go are so hard to remember. Yeah, very hard to remember. I've not been playing survival, just building. Yeah, you know, I don't really like survival. I play it with my son, but I'm not really a fan of it. Yeah. I don't know what I'm doing, so it's going to take me a little bit of time. So here we go. This is basically this design, but this is what it originally was. And I think that this is really cool because if you just want a 1 wide entryway and you just want it under the ground, look at that. Yeah, I think technically this may work. I tried to stick a standard 3x3 door, but because you cannot monostable a block, you can't even make a 3x3 door on Windows 10 edition. Yeah, I think you'd have to use a push-pull door like this. Like, I thought this would work, but if you check it out, anytime you see a sticky piston throw the block away from itself, that's something that will not work on Pocket Edition. So that's a push-pull. But yeah, this is the same design. Yeah, kind of slow though. I prefer it more like this. I like this little design because it's so small. This one is very finicky. You cannot power it from the side. Like, you can't put a block here and then power that block. It has to be up above like that. You know, I don't even know if it will work if you do it with a repeater. This may be a door you can't actually use, but I'm gonna try it. Let's see. Yeah, see that? It basically does not work if you power it from the side like that. But we'll find out what's up. I do believe that what happened there was it powered it by butting it from the lever. So let's go ahead. So if the slime block is here, then it is in the open position. So we could just basically put the gold blocks back. So this should be open. And then I'm curious where we could power it from, because It seems to me that if you were to send a redstone signal into it here, that this is going to detect it, so it wouldn't work. But let's see. Yeah, see one side now? Yeah. So if we did do this, or if you did do it, I don't even know if it would work if you did this. I'm curious if it would. So it is still in the, actually it's in the closed position now. So we would want to put all of the blocks. We'd want to put all the blocks in here. Yeah, you could tell because this piston will be moved. This is closed, and then when it's over, it's open. So this should retract everything. I don't know what's going on there. Let me actually. I don't know. I don't think that's right. Okay. Anyway. Yeah, check that out. Look. I think it just literally just broke it. So I think we'll have to update it. Let me see. What would be malfunctioning? I think that this is always supposed to be up. So what we could do is we could. Yeah. So that it should always be like that. So it is in the closed position still. That might be why it didn't work. Yeah, because that's closed. So yeah, I'm curious though. There you go. So that's open and then closed. So if you can only power it from here, I would think that the only possible, I mean, like if you can't power it like this, you know, I don't understand why you couldn't. You know what I mean? Like, why can't you power it from this way? It should work. Oh, there we go. So you can power it from there. It was because I broke it. Okay. Single stacks is compact. Is that a person? So, so I'm thinking too, like you could do this. Or I think you might be able to. You might be able to do it with a redstone block, which might be easier. Because I mean, who wants to come off of there? My whole thing is I would like to have the, I'd like to have a slime block tower come up and power it for me. Yeah. That's probably the best way to do it. It has to stay a circle. So you would wanna have it like that. Like you couldn't have it come from the side. Maybe you could. I guess I could check it. I have a backup of this. Let's check it. Let's see. So this would actually update. So you couldn't have it there because it would basically detect it and send a false signal. Yeah. So this would be the way you'd want to do it, but I guess for the yeah, the guy that made this, I actually don't understand. I actually thought maybe he took it from somebody else. I know that sounds terrible, but his redstone, what he was doing before was not as good as this design, which I haven't been able to find anybody that has it. So maybe he just got skill all of a sudden. But if you look at his YouTube channel, he just uploads this masterpiece, and then it breaks in one update, and then he quit doing YouTube. This guy, he had his design taken, given to Mumbo Jumbo. Mumbo Jumbo showed it, and then it ended up being the wrong guy that he gave credit to, which he didn't acknowledge. Isn't that how you broke it? Single stack is compact. I I don't understand what you mean when you say, isn't that how I broke it? It's actually working fine now. Yeah, if you power up above here, I think it gets detected. Maybe not. I'm curious. I do want to see if it, because I mean, I don't want to use another piston, but I mean, if it comes to being super small, I mean, you know, that's what you'd want. It just needs to be away from, you know, it needs to be away. Because this should be way far away, so it should work. There we go. So that actually does work. Okay. You just can't have a repeater on a block above an observer because it gets detected. So yeah. But yeah, this'll if you follow the guy's tutorial, this is the only thing. Because back in the day, you used to be able to put a lever directly on anything, and you can't do that anymore. It has to be horizontal. I don't know why he used this hopper. It doesn't even have any items in it, you know. But all it needs to do is the detector will detect the update. So when this redstone, because when I first tried it, I tried to power this block instead, both of them together, and the thing broke still. So, you know, it needs to detect this, and then whatever delay that is, it needs to work in that order perfectly in order for it to work. What's up, Sash McFlash? Sexy door day. Yeah. So I'm actually gonna put in the description these guys here that did these. I was actually really surprised that something I made a long time ago still works, even though, I mean, in all reality, I would say you probably wouldn't want to use it because it's just so damn big and expensive. Yeah. Super big and expensive, bad animation. If you compare it to this door, which has real super clean, you know, it's a 2 wide 4x4 compared to that being 3 by, I think it's 3 by 12. I mean, it's huge. This thing stays within its own size. Pretty sweet. But I will say that this door will never, ever work on Pocket Edition or Bedrock Edition. This door I tried on Bedrock Edition, but because you cannot monostable a block up, I'll show you what I mean. This is CAB Minecraft's door. When you see that block get thrown up into the center, you can no longer do that on the, like, you cannot make a 3x3 door on Windows 10 Edition unless you use another method. What I mean by that is that you cannot use a hipster. What a hipster is, this is a hipster door. I say stop considering cost cutting. They are all enough micro farm YouTubers. There are enough micro farm YouTubers. Yeah. Well, it's not that. It's that, you know, when somebody makes something, other than this being like a model, they want people to actually be able to use it. I'm gonna go ahead and say that if you have a castle, or if you have a big entranceway that you want to do, like, this is probably going to be super hard to cover up because it goes up, was it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blocks and then the input. But you could put it in a massive castle wall. But your castle wall would have to be, was that 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 high off the ground in order to have this installed. Or, you know, whatever building it is. And that's pretty big to have your roof that size. Let's see. Yeah, ye of little faith. Yeah. No, I actually, I know I could get enough resources for this. I have. I actually built an elevator, now with the new iron farms, which we're going to take a look at here next. Excuse me. Okay, so keep trucking down the line. So this is actually kind of crazy because this particular circuit, there's been 20 different variants of it. This is the most modern one. I actually, this is my version of it, but there's been so many other people because I took this from another guy, TT Lemen. I took this design and I added some timings to it, as you guys can see. It's literally a screenshot. And then I added this new monostable to it, which is super small. And was it Mumbo Jumbo? He took the circuit and put it in a different way. And you know, if you look at it, his door is still works, and it's all it costs you is a block, a redstone, and a torch. And if you look at this, it requires a hopper and a dropper, a comparator, which are all really expensive things. But this one works faster, but it uses a dual edge monostable. But it's super quick. The way he has it set up, it's really fast. And then compared to this one, the closing's quick, but you'll see that the opening is a little bit slower. Pretty sweet though. I'm just surprised because there's so many variants of this. Seriously, I found like at least 16 variants, and this is the one that I was using. But I think if I was going to use a 3x3 like this, I think I would go with Mumbo's just because it's easier. Here's the Fallout Vault Door number version 2, I think. And I really like it. To be honest, the one thing I don't like is that this piston needs to come from the roof and touch to actually be a Fallout. But it's pretty cool if you check it out. Look, it still works. I mean, and if you look at it, it's very similar to this. Very similar. Like, it even has the torch powering these, so... A lot of people don't like the door, but they don't realize the concept is to have a piston come up and place a block in the center, which if we were to get rid of it, you could see what we're talking about here. So it places a redstone block, you know, it places a redstone block there, which is no easy task like a Fallout door. So it's kind of a new concept. You either like them or you hate them. And then I pulled these out. Unfortunately, I don't have my original versions where I have the color coordinated and it's all out of sandstone, which I'm probably going to have to rebuild this and put some color to it, but very, very small. This one's mine. Now, there is another guy that has a design that's almost identical to it. There's like one thing different with mine. There's a repeater there, and on his he doesn't have the repeater there. I don't know what the hell. I did get this circuit idea from another person. Like you can see, like this is the original design because I had to make it really big to get, because I like mine to have to come down to a 3 high area, not a 2 high. Like you can see, this one's a 2 high area. And I wanted it to be a 3 high area like this. So in order to get it to look really clean, I had to make it really big. But you can see that it's pretty clean. It's got a nice and clean symmetrical animation, but it comes at a cost. This one has horrific animation, but it's small. It's probably the most compact design from its day. There might be something smaller now, but I really enjoy that. I have a one wide as well. So that's pretty much doors. Yesterday I was looking at mob farms. So yeah, I will probably put some links in the description after this video uploads. I have their channels, and so I'll be linking this guy, and that guy, and also I think that's actually Sydney's 4x4, which I would say this one is probably the one that you'd end up wanting to use. Yeah, this would be the one you'd want to use just because it has cleaner animation than this. But I do like the animation on this. It is different. Yeah, because as far as height, if you were building this, you're better off having a 4 wide wall. You know, you have a 4 wide wall. You're better off having that than having a 1 wide and then having to have it 10. But you could use these doors either way, honestly. So, alright. So I wanted to show you guys what I did with the mob farm. So this is a iron golem farm, and I basically moved it round, and I added in uh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 more. Now, since I added in the 4 more, I did notice that I was getting 4 golems at once, but only during the nighttime. So, but it does seem to be doing pretty good. And then I made this minecart system instead of a bunch of hoppers because they were getting stuck. So I basically made the opening so that they will not get stuck, and they get tricked because the water is kind of telling them that there's a bottom here, as you can see. So when the iron golem spawns, they will fall straight through this right here, and go to their death. Um, Lonnie says 1303 and 15. Let me see. So that's got to be the time on the video. Let me look back. 1303, huh? You know what? This is going to sound funny, but yeah. If you input it wrong, Lonnie, it busts. It will break. Yeah, that door. All right. So this actually, to see, I only had it up and running the way I have it now in the bigger size. It could actually be 1 block wider, which I may come back and change, but you can see this is what we got in about 15 minutes. So two stacks of 64 in 15 minutes is pretty good. I will say that this would be best. I posted a pic of a regular door. So this is the one I fixed. As you guys can see, it's much bigger, and then we fixed it to a 4x4 entryway. For the actual golems. So I'll say that the thing you gotta realize with this is that when the villagers are scattering around, that's the only time. So only when that villager goes down there does he get scared. The thing is kind of like, I actually think that it's possible to make a redstone device to move the villagers, force them into a position. And you can see it's kind of weird because they kind of rotate depending on the time of day. Like as soon as sundown comes, we'll get up to 4 iron golems. But in all reality, you do not need this one, that one, any of the middle ones. I only added them. Like they actually, from what I heard, that it has to be 14 blocks away or 15 blocks away. So in all reality, these need to be back here, away from. They need to be away from these other ones. So this may actually be hurting its efficiency, having the villagers here. Yeah, but you don't need it. You could get, like this one right here. I don't know what the hell. I think I built it too far away. Honestly, it doesn't seem to be scaring them at all. And I think we're still sitting at 54 iron. Well, it did collect some while I was building that. But, 3 stacks is not enough, considering this is supposed to have 500 using all this redstone. I'm going to go ahead and say it's completely unnecessary. I do like the design. I'm sure that I probably did something wrong with it. But I'm going to say the only thing you could do, I'd have to move it closer. It does seem like they can see him, but they're completely not scattering around. So I think that this only works at night. And night and morning. And that's when it's most productive. That was a question, not a statement. Doors are no longer needed for iron farms. Yes, you do not need doors. It's all about the villagers being scared. So you need a zombie, basically. You need a zombie to be able to see them, and for them to get scared from them. The way that this one works is that when they go to sleep at night, which is the time that they are most likely to make a golem, he tries to lay down on this middle bed, which then he gets seen by the by the zombie, and then he freaks out. You can see that these guys can see somebody, right? The ones that are hopping are the ones that are more likely to produce. So if we were to set it to nighttime, you'd actually see the iron golem, farm, increase dramatically. Yeah, it's almost sundown. You'll start seeing that the zombies get way more active, and you see how the villagers start scattering as sundown. Look, 1, 2, 3. So 3, 4. Now 4 is the maximum I heard you can get at a time. So unless I put ice underneath this entire thing to increase it, you can see that we get up to 4. We get 4 right before sundown, 4 at I'll say 2 at midnight, and then another 4 at sunrise. Makes more sense than doors. Yeah, I mean, why would they make... We only make them if we have more doors. I mean, that doesn't make any sense. So you can see here that we got... I don't know how much, but it's quite a bit. Now, if... this is kind of overdone. Like, you really only need 4 of these, and you'll get a decent amount. Right now at night, like I said, it'll keep producing them, but not as much as during the nighttime. Like, that's its best time, or at sunrise. This one, I don't even know if it's even working. I think I have the villagers too far away. The guy said 5 blocks from him, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? I have 5 blocks. 10 golems a day. Yeah, so at 1300 hours is when these guys... I haven't seen 1 iron golem spawn in here. I know they're spawning. Well, I would say that right now in the down position, this zombie, he is not scaring these villagers. He's not scaring them. They're not scattering around. But they really have nowhere to go. So it makes more sense to make the bed one, because then you can see them scattering. He cannot walk anywhere. So I guess something we could do would be to check. Would be to increase the ceiling height. They might fall out, but at that level, the zombie should scare them. But I'm gonna say that if we were to put a zombie like close. If we were to put a zombie close, I can't tell. Whoa. Yeah, you can see that one's still producing. I haven't seen or heard 1 iron golem get cooked here. Hey, he took the easy route way out. You won, zombie. Yeah, I would say even if we moved it up closer, I'm not actually seeing how this is gonna do anything for us, honestly. If we were to make this, like, what is the purpose? It seems to me like whatever mechanics it was using is broken, and that the guy, maybe because he hasn't updated his map, still thinks it works on the 1.13, but putting it on a fresh new map, it wasn't working for me. So let me see here. Hey, I didn't want to sleep. Get up off me. Ah! Get up off me. So the these guys are actually sleeping, and I mean, that's probably the biggest thing I've noticed is that yeah, these guys are not sleeping. Huh. Well, whatever. Yeah, look, it's nighttime and they're not sleeping. There's one guy sleeping, but these guys, it doesn't even look like they could move. So I'm going to say that whatever mechanic this was using, so I'm going to say this is, gets a fail, a straight fail. This one, while we've been gone, you can see that one villager, he cannot sleep, but these other guys do. Now, from what I heard, the best time is when they actually work. Apparently, they work once a day, and they'll basically just go to these loom. And so whatever, if you put a loom or if you put a compost, if you put a compost, it automatically assigns them to it. So if I switch one of these to a compost, if I switch it, it will change one of these guys. One of these guys will change to a to have a farm hat on. It will take a sec, but I do want to see if it actually happens. I do believe that they I think it's random how they sleep, but yeah. I actually think personally I think that it sucks that transparent blocks. So if we put glass here, they will not see the zombie at all. Right? They will not see the zombie. The zombie doesn't even see them, even though he's standing there. So I tried doing this, meth heads. Let's see here. There we go. You can see that this thing's working pretty well. Yeah, just making it a little bigger. I'm pretty sure that you could put this on the ground now. So if you had this in your survival world, you'd have to use a lot of water. You'd have to do, I don't even know what this is. I think it's, what is this? We'll just count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, and 50. So it's a 50 by 50 area. But you guys can see that it's kind of trippy for me because I noticed that the more of these you have, the more villages you have. So technically each one of these is a village. So, yeah. And you can see that when they scatter around, that's when they're detecting the zombie. And you can see that not all of them detect the zombie. So having these extras here, having these extras here, they either work or don't. And so if these other ones spawn an iron golem, they will not freak out. They will not scatter. I would think that maybe the best thing to do would be that, like, when this guy is down here, to make him stay down there. Like that. I'm not sure if it would, because he's just staying away from the zombie, but we have a block here, and that shouldn't be there. So, he should produce a, I think this is the, if we put this transparent block here, I'm pretty sure if you see him scattering, he's gonna make a zombie. So that's probably the best method, is to force him to stay down there all the time, and you'll probably produce more. He'll produce more crack for us. And then I don't know if they changed something, but crafting devices used to not be able to spawn anything, but I actually found that that's not true. So let's see if we can get more production by forcing those guys to stay where the zombie is. Like, this guy's not sleeping either. So there we go. So by forcing them to stay there, I think that we're going to get more production because they're constantly being attacked. But I think what's happening here, seriously, what I think is actually happening is I think that if they're scared all the time, they should produce them. How many blocks up are these villages? They're 5 blocks up. And it's from the water source here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So on that block, basically, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and on the 5th block, you'd place this. Like I said, if you want to make this actually work the same, you do not need every single village. You only need the ones in the corners. So 50 by 50, and then I would say, what is that? Would it be -4? -4 blocks. Then you would dig down once, and then you can see that just travels down here, and then this is 7 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So 7 blocks. 7 blocks, and that's pretty much it. But if I was you, Lonnie, dude, start from here. Basically make, let me get rid of this. Make a 4x4 area. And I would say you probably want to make this by your spawn. If you were going to spawn, if you want this to work all the time, put it in your, build this directly over your spawn. And so give yourself enough ground. And then you're going to have to, I will say that you will have to make these non-spawnable areas by putting half slabs. But yeah, look at that. So in the morning time, when we reach day, you can see that this thing throws 4 iron golems, and then it throws like 4 or 5 during the day. I do think that we increase the production by doing this. Look, now all 3 of them are scared. That's got to be, I think this is actually going to be more beneficial. So we have, we just need to get these guys to do it. I need to trap them down there. Let's see, set time. Actually, it's time set, isn't it? Time set, night. Oh, damn it. I do that every time. Yeah, so they sleep down. You can see this guy gets scared. And they're more likely to produce. So I want to see if we do this, though. This is going to force this. Yeah, look, see his hat? As soon as he slept, he changed from being a, you know, a loo. Or is that what it's called? A loom? Sorry, a loom to a... So you can use whatever you want here, as long as it's a station. And then look at this guy. He's just like chilling. Let's wake him up. There we go. He's kind of stuck there. Yeah, we'll force him to stay there. I added villagers. Do not increase golem production. The added villagers. Yeah, I don't think they do. Well, they could, honestly. They could, because if you move them back, say to there, say to right here, actually. If you move these ones here back, it should increase. What I noticed is it's about like random chance who gets it, but no matter what, the max you're going to get is 4. But since I added this block here, whoa, how did he get out there? Hasta la vista. I gave him somewhere where he could go, and he was able to spawn onto it. Let me go ahead and get one more villager in here. You should, as soon as that villager dies, he will become the loom person. So yeah, so I think honestly, I think that you could get away with only having 4, but I'm gonna disagree. I'm gonna say that I definitely seen a production. You get 4 golems at night every time, and that translates to a lot. It translates to a lot. So yeah. So this is probably about an hour. It's probably about 1 hour. In 1 hour, we were able to get, you know, this much. But I think that we would have gotten it even if it was only 4. Because I'll say if you were in a survival world, I would say to get these guys into position legitimately would be an absolute pain in the ass. But look, since I put the glass blocks there, that did increase. Because if it's about them being scared... forcing them to constantly see the zombie, they're more likely to produce all the time. We just need to hit pivotable times. Pivotal. Let's say important times. I don't know what times they are. I think it's like 1300 hours. And then it'll be like a lull moment. But these guys are constantly seeing this zombie, so they're scared. But they're not going to produce one. Yeah, you need three to make a village, apparently. So 3 to make a village, but they do have to be 15 blocks away from each other, I think. So right now we're at the 15 blocks. So 1, 2, let's actually, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't want these guys spawning on this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Right on 15. So I think that you only need 3 here and 3 on that side, and then you could get rid of these 2. And if you were just looking to, I would say, have done other designs of iron farms in survival. Villager positioning is always the worst part. Yeah. Well, I think that this one's good. We have 15 and 15. It looks like, as long as they're here. As soon as they step over here, they're not being included. Look at this zombie horde. Whoa, look at that. Huh. Zombie horde, you guys are gonna get cooked. So occasionally it looks like we're gonna get some loot drops, huh? Nice work there, zombie horde. Let's see what we get out of this. This is probably the most resource-friendly way. So it looks like we'll get rare drops and stuff as well. I wonder what would happen, though, honestly. I wonder what would happen if we had a pillage going on here. Look, there's an iron golems were spawned as well. I think that this is perfect positioning. They're 15 blocks away from each other. You can see that there's basically a point where it's 15 or 14, and I basically chose that. So in all reality, if you wanted to build these, I think if you built them, I'd say like right here. I mean, as an experiment, just move them back. It would give the spacings, make the spacings better. Yeah. Because the original design, they're exactly 15 blocks away from here. So Lonnie says, I was wondering if it could double as a mob farm. Well, I will tell you that I have a mob farm, and it still works amazingly. It's called the X Grinder. But this one, I mean, look, if you're looking look at, there's 5 there now. I have not seen 5 iron golems before. I think that by placing these glass blocks here, I think it increased production dramatically. Yeah, it increased production dramatically. Yeah, it did. And then that zombie horde. So I mean, we're getting tons from this. Yeah. Getting tons from this. And they're far enough away to where the iron golems aren't spawning here now. And that's why I actually just use torches instead of using slabs. But I will say that if you built it up in the air and you put a platform here, all the mobs would naturally want to go to the villagers, so you could turn this into both. If you built pads up here, say that they were big enough, like 15 by 15 off the side, or 10, let's say 5. If they were 5 from the side, you would get that. Yeah. So they're in constant terror. That's exactly right. So by keeping them, by putting those blocks there, look at, now we're getting 4 each time. So by simply changing it so that they're scared all the time, they're going to produce a hell of a lot more. You know, they are going to suffer from post-traumatic stress, but, you know, hey, price of war. So this is something else I wanted to show you guys. I'm not necessarily a fan of it, honestly. I think it's okay. You know, I do. I think it's okay. I think that it's kind of one of those things where it's like, oh, this is nice, but you know, if you do what I did and you end up with a bunch of mobs, all over. Okay, so let's. Yeah, I don't know if it produces while you're away. I mean, as long as you're within the vicinity, it should still keep producing. Yeah. I think right when we came back, it updated the chunks, and boom, they got scared again. So I would say if you wanted to produce more with this, just simply leaving the area, coming back, or when it becomes morning, you're going to get 4 golems if you do it like this every night. Four golems every sunrise and sunset. And you'll get a couple during the day. And I think that this is the way to go right here. I think that this is the way. Having it like this. I think that by forcing them to constantly see the zombie, it increases the production. You know, people are guessing because they changed it. They said that it was too buff, the Iron Golems farms. But I think I want to make one of these with my son. I think, you know, getting a minecart system working is going to be a pain in the ass. If you don't cover your villagers, those wraith things, those night wraiths. Yeah, look at that. He actually spawned up there with them. So we're going to have to keep half slabs up here. Otherwise, it's possible that he'll spawn on the glass. But look at that. That's 2, 4, 6. We have 6 now. Yeah, this thing is mega producing. I think you could get just as much production from 4 of these by just placing a block to where they all constantly see. You know? Because, I mean, they're all constantly being scared. Welcome to my experimental laboratory where we're destroying lives, but we're getting iron production up to its maximum efficiency. This is kind of, I mean, honestly, if this was like real life, I would say this was so racist right here. Racist! That's exactly what I was thinking. Constant terror. Yeah, look, we got hell of more production. We didn't get any rare drops, though. We did not get rare drops. I could put an item sorter on this because it's up so high and we could separate these, but I mean, why? Why? We have 2 chests worth of iron. I'm going to say that if for a normal world, I think if we built this on the ground and we just dug it out of the land, using sand or whatever you want, you just dig a 50 by 50. Technically, it's not a 50 by 50, by the way. It's actually 1. So I think you minus 4. So it would be, if it was 50, so it would be 50, sorry, it would be 48. So you would want to dig a 48 by 48. And then we minus 4. So it would be, what was that? So then it would be, what is it, 44 blocks. And then you'd want to count 7 and then 7. But I would say you'd want to start here and just build a, dig down 8 blocks. What is that? 1, 2, 3 down? 4 down? Yeah, dig a what is it? 7? I think it's a 7. I mean, I guess I could count it. Rare drops. So rare drops are if zombies come with armor. You know, I'll actually show you. Okay, so this is actually a mob farm that I've been using for a really long time, and it still works to this day. I've tested it a bunch of times. This is not the mob farm, by the way. This is my old world. This whole thing is completely useless now on my survival world. But I mean, it was cool while it lasted. But now I'll have to make the new version. Yeah, I'll have to make the new version. But let's go ahead and go to, we can go ahead and shut this thing off because it no longer works with doors. So we don't need it. Yeah, we don't need it. Yeah, villager chaining used to be sweet. I mean, you could just chain it and this would automatically chain the doors for you. It was very smart. super resource dependent. Like, I had to have an iron golem farm to make it. But I gotta say that I honestly am in my days of trying to make something that massive. I mean, look at this. This massive. I don't even know if it... This was back when it was working. Yeah, it produced so much that I had to shut it off. And then I had to actually start converting them into blocks. So check this out. Look at how much. I mean, this was over, like, I don't know, a 10-day period. So if it's 2,500 an hour and we are playing for 8 hours, just do the math on that. Like, these chests are full of blocks. That's how rich we were. Anyway, so I ended up having to make this overflow valve. So if the chest ever filled up, it would spit out the iron and just drop it right there. Anyway, let's go to this mob farm. It's quicker than flying, because if you travel through the nether, 1 block is like 10 blocks. So we're traveling, like, you know, I don't know, quite a ways. So this should be a pigman farm on the way to Timus' house. Ender farm, iron farm, burned out guy's place, my mansion, X grinder. The X grinder is the one I'm talking about here. So the X grinder, I believe that's the X grinder right here. It's really weird because if you come here, it takes you up really high up in the air. So we're above, right now we're above the world where my mansion is. And so as long as nobody's there, if you come up here and just chill for a couple seconds, you'll start seeing the rare drops. So, yeah. Now, just watch how much it starts producing. Once we get into the 15 block radius, just look at how much. This is a mob farm right here. So yeah, if you sit here, say you need to go to the restroom, just look at your inventory and leave. I will say that now you'd have to actually have something over the top of you to protect you from those things. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how it works, because it still works. I did a tutorial on it a while ago, but basically what happens is the mobs will spawn in here, and then every couple of seconds after a period, the water will turn on and flush them off of it. So let's see, it should work. There we go. So you can see that it turns on and then it turns off, and that's what causes them to fall. So when we're saying rare drops, it used to be, I don't know if it's true anymore, but this my sorting system is down here, by the way. This is a system I made. It's tileable and it's completely unnecessary. You could use the smaller version, but I wanted to use my own design. So anyway, so rare drops would be like armor and stuff like that, and here they are. So rare drops, so it's like redstone, dust, bottles, that kind of stuff. Armor. We used to get armor in here, and swords and stuff, but I don't think they do that anymore. But you guys can see I actually am just getting rid of zombie flesh, even though we should be saving it. But when we were up and running, you could see that it was producing relatively, you know, nice numbers of everything. You know, this thing's like dual. Monster diarrhea. Yeah. Pretty much. You can just hear them. Even when we're down here, the thing still produces. But yeah, I actually know of an easier way with the minecart system. But when we had the iron golem farm, it was like, who cares? Let's just make it huge, you know? Because you're making infinite iron. Infinite. I mean, 2,500 an hour? That's ridiculous, right? So this thing automatically stops working once you get out of its radius. So if I was like just to leave, like right about here, it just stops working. So yeah, it looked like a sheep just fell. I don't know if any of these work anymore. I don't know if any of these work anymore. Hopper Madness, yeah. These farms work. They're sheep wool farms, which I mean, honestly, I mean, what do you need it for? I mean, now you can make cool banners and stuff, and shields, but so the way that it was supposed to work was you come in here, and I'd have a variety of colored wool, and they come to you, and so what you'd want to do is I think we'd want to grab some wheat. Is it wheat? I spell that wrong. Is it wheat? Um, Wheat's not in here, huh? Curious if this stuff even works still. It would be. Let's look up hay. Bales of hay. Yeah, I thought wheat. It would be wheat, right? It would be wheat. Why didn't it find it? I know it's a W. So, am I missing it or something? You know what? I actually know where I have some. There should be some over here. Here's the chicken farm, which actually works pretty good. Yeah. 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 Oh, it's WH. God, how come why am I such a bad speller? I hate to say it, but I really am. I'm a bad speller, and I've gotten way worse. So, so basically, if you hold the weed up, actually, you don't even need to hold the wheat. You just wait for them. They will naturally go towards light, and so they'll eventually come to you, and you just hold the shears down and leave and go AFK. And if you turn this on, it basically will fill your inventory with stuff. So you'd want to go like this and fill it up. And if your shear breaks, then it would automatically replenish it for you. So you fill your inventory up and you just sit here and you basically you can basically just farm them, and it will constantly spit out, you know, a shear. And so after a while, if you really want a lot of wool, it worked pretty good though. My wife spells for me. Yeah, I have to ask my son, which is crazy. I have to ask my son to spell a lot of stuff for me. Yeah, I like I said, I'm good with the physical stuff, but not with the other things. You get a hell of a lot more production now than you used to. I would actually say that these, as you can see, I was collecting as much as I could. Yeah, and if you wanted to actually transfer it without filling up your inventory. Yeah, I'm actually curious why the hell I have actual logs. Like, what the hell was I doing last time? Because I have a bunch of logs. I think it was the kind of tree I used for the, yeah. I'm actually curious, because Good old good guy door. Curious because, yeah, I know that this still works. Once you have the mob grinder, then you could come here and use Mumbo's tree farm. And let me see. Let's grab. Is it birch? Whoa. What the heck was that doing in there? So we just sit here and you just go AFK. You guys have seen it, huh? You just grab something. I actually have a soldering kit, and it has 4 legs on it that are like rubber, and it really stays where you want it. And so I go grab that, and I'll set it on the right side and just auto, so I can get a bunch of wood. Howdy, Soy. Oh, Soy Buscus. Hey, what's up? Wow, I haven't talked to you in a while. I didn't know you'd be interested in this kind of stuff. Yeah, so, yeah, other than getting occasionally a sapling, one of the things I noticed on Mumbo's design was that if you don't come and crush this top area down, if you don't crush the leaves, then the chances of you getting a bigger tree decrease. So, yeah. But yeah, then you'd just mine up all of this and you'd have plenty of wood. But I would just basically leave it for like an hour and come back. And so, like I said, you can beat Minecraft. You can beat it. I don't know if this is the world that has the Prismarine Farm on it. I don't think it is because this doesn't have, yeah. I was gonna use these villagers for some more stuff. They no longer have jobs anymore, and zombies don't ever come here, so I'm going to go ahead and say that this is a village, but considering that the Iron Golem farm doesn't even work, I could make it out there and just basically get a minecart system. But I don't play in this world anymore. Let's see, save and quit. I'm curious, though, because I have some backups of it. I believe it's... This says Ender Server 1.7.10, so this would have been, it says 6/12/19 is when I actually did it, but let's see here. This one was 7/8/19. That's when I just played it. So Ender server up to date, but I was on a world with my son. I showed him it, and I believe it was actually because. This is prior to the 1.8 update, which is when I had a different iron farm working. And this one says Ender Server 10/16. So this might actually be it, but it still says the 1.7.10, 1.8 Ender Server. So this would be probably the most up-to-date one right here. Because I want to show you, it has a Prismarine Farm on it. Which, like I said, there was 4 people playing on the server with me. I cut the server off, and the main reason why was money. But yeah, this is actually even earlier than that. This was the original, and you could see that it's like in the process of me actually doing the door chaining myself. So none of this shit works anymore. Yeah. Yeah, this one's even older than the map we were just on. It has the cactus version. I'm curious to see what we actually have. Is this before Timist even joined us? Yeah, it does look like it. Ender Farm, Iron Farm, Timist's house is missing. Yeah, so this is actually a even earlier update. Yeah, this is actually It's definitely not up to date, but I know I had one here. I'm just gonna go ahead and save and quit there. So that one's not up to date. This one was the most up to date from what I've seen, but let's try the other world. Ender server 6. So let's see. I think it's actually this one. I think it's just a backup. I think. But I know that the server that I use probably still keeps the map I had on there. Whoa, did you see the way that that loaded? Okay, this is not it. This is the concept of... which obviously doesn't work anymore. Go take out that village there, Wither. This Wither farm doesn't work anymore. Show how to build it. Show how to build what? I love that door. Yeah, it's not my door. I can link you to the guy that makes it. Yeah. I can link you to the guy that makes it. Is it Jabba? Jabba? Okay, that world, I'm gonna go ahead and say we can delete it. See which one of these. So this one says 11:15. This one says 12. One of these has the latest. Yeah, this one says it's got to be this farm here. This has got to be the most up-to-date one. Yeah, one of them has the Prismarine Farm. I just wanted to see if it still was there, because, like I said, we did so much on this map that it actually became, yeah, it became, I'll just say, unplayable, because it was not necessary. Seriously. It's just, it wasn't necessary to play anymore. I don't think this is it because it doesn't have the second Ender farm here. Because there should have been 2 Ender farms. So this is actually an older update. Where the hell is the thing at? Oh, there it is. I'm pretty sure this is actually even older than the other one. Okay, escape. And then you spawn in the mob farm, which no longer works anymore. Yeah. Yeah, this is an old update. Wow. It's not even a mob farm, sorry, it was a... So that one doesn't work. That one's incorrect. This one was actually probably the most... Yeah, where is the other one? There's one more. There should be one more. This is an Iron Farm 1.8. Let's see. This is the last one, and it actually says it was at 11/14/2014, which was the last time I played on it. I don't think this is it either. Show how to build it. I know you mean how, though. Yeah, if you'd like to see the 4x4 door, I can link you to the guy's tutorial. Yeah, this one's even older. Yeah, it doesn't even have the okay, so these are all just backups, basically. They're backups of it. So this is probably the most current world. I swore I had another one. Yeah, I swore I had a more up-to-date version of it. Weird. Sorting system. Yeah. That's crazy. Okay, well, whatever. I mean, let's go ahead and go back to the door world. So I'm gonna go ahead and put a link in the description of this video after we're done streaming to this guy, this guy, this guy, and to this door. You guys can just look up CMB Minecraft if you're interested in this door. And of course this is Mumbo's version. And then of course I have my version up for download, but it's actually more complicated and more expensive than Mumbo's. I would say that Mumbo's is probably the one to go with. It's just easier. It uses one torch, and this uses this entire thing, and which makes it slower, honestly. So I'd say Mumbo's compared to the one that I did, yeah, definitely better. And of course, this one is part of the version 3 Fallout Vault door, so it, you know, it's basically if you like Fallout and you want to have a cool block in the middle. That's all it really is. Okay, so CMB Minecraft's 1.9 version works. None of these doors work on the Bedrock edition or Pete. None of them. As far as I could tell, doors do not work at all, except for the simple doors. I'm sure somebody's figured out a way to make a hipster door, but it's probably horrible. Mumbo. Yeah, this door is pretty sweet though, I will say. I am gonna tell you, you know, good luck making it though, because I'll just tell you, it's broken, you know. I would say this, the guy is retired off of YouTube, so I haven't seen him do a video in quite a long time. So, but I wouldn't feel comfortable just doing a tutorial of something I didn't make. This door right here, you can actually make it, go to Mumbo's, one of his more recent videos, and it's basically named the smallest door I've ever seen by Mumbo. This one, if you look up 1 wide 3x3s, it will pop up. It has really, I'll say, poor animation, but it is a valiant attempt. I would say that this is probably the best part of it, honestly, because you get a hipster door. Like, I think you could get the same thing from just this section. You could get this to here, but it requires the upper part. So this thing, as being a hipster though, makes a really small 1 wide. I would probably use this for a safe or a chest room because it's super small. It's 1 wide, and I could use this as a safe room, which would be cool. Okay, so that's pretty much my favorite doors. And we looked at some mob stuff. So yeah, the video will probably upload in about an hour, and I'm going to put the links to all these doors. So the 4x4 door from Sydney. I can't pronounce the guy's name. I think it's like Lime Time or something. Or something like that. And this guy right here, I can't even pronounce his name, but it's a definitely good design. Same with this one. I think the guy that made that one, his name's like Mini something. Anyway, the links will be in the description for, I'll say, that door and these 1 wide versions if you're interested in them. Anyway, I have been streaming for going on 1 hour and 19 minutes. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to comment, you know, like, and of course subscribe. You guys want to see more content like this. If you guys would like a tutorial, all that you need to know about this, the 4x4 that's 1 wide, is that block on the top. If you follow the guy's tutorial, it should work. If it doesn't, you know what, you wasted 15 minutes. I mean, I wouldn't go putting it on a survival world. I don't put anything anywhere until I actually build it in creative on a map. So anyway, have a good one, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.